What's going on, people? Ryan Williams, AFC, back with another match preview. Of course, if you're new to the channel, please make sure you hit that like button. Of course, share it out. And of course, make sure you subscribe. Now, guys, Arsenal are going to Selhurst Park, a little bit near me, of course, southwest London. And it's a 12:30 kickoff. And let's be honest. Selhurst Park has not really been friendly to us in the last few seasons. Of course, we haven't escaped with a win in the last few years. So what are we going to do? How are we going to set up? Of course, right now, currently in the table, we are 10th, a point behind Crystal Palace, who are 9th. And potentially, if we win tomorrow, and of course, we all know the big game later on, Spurs taking on Liverpool, and a lot of worries from the Arsenal fan base, including myself. We all know our beat run from 2003 to 2004 is in some serious jeopardy the more wins Liverpool get. But at the same time, if Liverpool could do us a favour by beating Tottenham, we would have clawed back. But if we could get the job done, of course, at Selhurst Park. So how do we line up? Of course, just before we get into that, of course, just want to get the news out there. If you don't know already, Emile Smith-Rowe looks like he's gone to Huddersfield on loan for the rest of the season, which I think, listen, if he's not going to be utilised much this season, and Arteta has talked about he wants players coming back, that's his main focus. And let's be real, the young guys like Emile Smith-Rowe, Eddie Nketiah, who's just come back from Leeds on loan, they weren't really using him correctly. He weren't really getting much game time, full game time at least anyways. And of course, he come back and then we played them and we beat them and knocked them out of the FA Cup. That's what happened. So, again, that reminds me. So, with the FA Cup game, Leeds, let's go back to it. Of course, that first half was horrendous. The players blatantly didn't listen to Mikel Arteta's instructions. Of course, Miguel Balesso, excuse my language there. Listen, Leeds manager has been highly rated by the likes of Pep. Even Arteta even said, listen, the pressing game that he has brought in has been phenomenal. You can see that with certain teams and the way they press. Man City, do you know what I'm saying? Look at the way they pressed. So, that first half, you saw Leeds press us. Now, we're going away to Crystal Palace, and let's have it right. Our last away game, we did okay. Do you know what I'm saying? But it's Crystal Palace. What are we going to do? They have a few injuries, but Zaha likes to scare the crap out of us. And of course, I'm sure he wants to remind Arsenal on how we missed out and how we chose his Ivorian coasting teammate in Nicolas Pepe, the signing instead of him. This very shirt. So, listen, man, again, we cannot take this lightly. Bit of a London derby, of course, South versus North. It is what it is, but I'm just going to give you my starting 11 and you guys can agree with me or not in the comment section. So, of course, in goal, Bert Leno remains. The right back position, I'm going to give it to AZ Maitland-Niles. I think he's been tremendous under Mikel Arteta so far. Yes, it's only been a few games, but I've seen a lot of changes in this man's character on the pitch. Not so much lackadaisical anymore. He's actually defending, he's tucking in when needs to be, and he's listening to Mikel Arteta, which is really, really important. And again, the Leeds game, first half, it showed you should listen to the manager. You go out there, you disrespect the opposition, you get smacked to the face. Luckily for us, we didn't concede. So, again, Premier League football, Crystal Palace. I'm not disrespecting Leeds because they are on top of the table in the Championship. But this is the Premier League. Do you know what I mean? And they could come with that heat next season. And if we don't take Palace seriously, in any of the halves, then they can pretty much do what Leeds did in the first half of the game. And remember, they're at home. They are more of an advantage. They got the crowd in Selhurst Park. So we need to be on point. So AZ Maitland-Niles, yeah, you got to watch out for guys like AU and Zaha, man. They're going to be on it. Centre back situation now, of course, we all know Callum Chambers is out for the season. Mustafi, I am not picking him. I think personally he's done. We all know there's news, apparently him getting a new agent, and it looks like he could be on the way out, but more news remains to be seen, and hopefully we'll provide an update here on the channel. So I'm gonna go with Socrates. I'm gonna go with David Luiz. I mean, I would have picked Holding, but after that game against Leeds, I feel I'm better off playing Rob Holding, probably the Europa League game, when we go back to that, and when we play Bournemouth in the FA Cup. So I'm not really sure on Holding yet. He does need to play more games, but I think right now, as much as, you know, we cast David Luiz and Socrates, that pairing so far under Mikel Arteta has actually done some decent work. So I'm not going to touch what seems to be semi-fixed or plaster over it. I'm not going to touch it. Left back, Kolasinac. Do you know what I mean? Hopefully he is fit. If not, then Bukayo Saka could come in and literally take the reins. Now, also, this midfield pairing. Now, of course, it has to be Xhaka and Terrell. And it's crazy because my tune has changed over the last month or so over Granit Xhaka. And let's be real, he's not my favourite player. I still would be open to letting him go. But at this current time right now, in the form that he's in, working with Lucas Torreira, I'm not going to touch it. I'm not going to touch it. Until we know he's off to Hertha Berlin. If I got the name wrong, sorry. I feel like I've been butchering that name a lot of the times I've been mentioning it. So if he goes back to Germany, then we need to be having the solution in the window. But nevertheless, right now, Granit Xhaka has been playing. He's been playing well. We have to be real. We have to be real. We're not going to forget about the past, but we have to move on. Do you know what I mean? And try and save the season. Again, we have to try and get back into top four. There is a little bit of an opening. As small as it might be, there might be an opening, depending on results, depending if we can get our act together as a club. So Lucas Torreira, him and Granit Xhaka in that midfield. Now, of course, in front, it has to be Mesut Ozil. And the reason why I had to say it has, because there isn't anyone else that could play there. We can put Danny Ceballos there, but I feel I probably want to get him out on the bench. And I'm not 100% sure where he is on his fitness. But he did make the bench in the he was on the bench for Leeds. So potentially he could make a start. But I'm going to start Mesut Ozil. And the guys up top, listen, Pepe's going to play. Aubameyang's going to play. And listen, Lacazette has done well. I think the Leeds game, he's trying to get back into form. It's slowly there because his work rate was, again, this is what we need of Alexander Lacazette. So I'm going to give him the nod. And listen, because Gabby's been come back off an injury, I'm going to leave him on the bench. Maybe he can come on later. Reece Nelson, of course, he's probably going to be on a high after getting his first Arsenal goal last week against Leeds in the FA Cup, which was the winner. So I'm going to keep him on the bench just in case for extra energy. We've got guys like Willock on the bench. Do you know what I mean? So we should be all right. Palace do have a few injuries. So, again, we can't take this lightly. But their penalty king is out for this game. So that is a positive. We have to take that on the chin because he always does well against us. Even if he's not taking a penalty, he's still always doing well in that midfield, and that's Milivojevic for Palace. So, for me, I'm just going to be honest, guys. I think we're going to win. I'm confident in Mikel Arteta now. Yes, it's been a few games, but the way he has created this aroma, this smell, this fathom of Arsenal blood, this Arsenal DNA, I don't know. I don't know what it is. I'm just saying whatever's coming from the top of my head. Mikel Arteta has got me excited. Before Arteta even came, you didn't see this behind me. When Arteta came, I thought, you know what? F it. I'm going to do it. Because I made a vow in the beginning of the season, I'm not buying no top until I see Arsenal do well. Now, I kind of went back on that. Because Arsenal wasn't doing well. Emery just got sacked. And Arteta got hired. We played our last game under Lundberg. And, of course, we drew 0-0 at Goodison Park. We played under Arteta's first game against Chelsea. The top was there. Yeah, if you remember the preview. Unfortunately, the second half, we didn't quite get it. Bournemouth, I'm forgetting. We did well. We should have won that. And Manchester United, what can I say? It made us really feel like, okay, we really got something on here. Not because we beat Man United. If you look at the way we've been playing from the Everton game, from Bournemouth to Chelsea to Manchester United to Leeds, we are seeing something unravel under Mikel Arteta as Arsenal manager. With time, with support from the club and the board especially, and if all the fans can just put down their beers and put down their banter, and even the guys that didn't want Arteta, I was one of them. We put that aside. We got to back the man. Hopefully the board can dig some money out their backside between now and this January window where we might get minimal players, probably one or two. Listen, anything will do right now, because the summer is when we need to really start picking out the next season and start improving. So we got the rest of the season to try it. I'm gonna go with a 3-1 win. I'm gonna go with a 3-1 win. I think Palace will probably score first. I just think we're gonna turn up the heat. I don't see no reason why we can't go to Selhurst Park and turn up the heat. Palace has injuries. Okay? We have some injuries too, yes. But with Mikel Arteta at the helm, I mean, our last 2 games, clean sheets, back-to-back. When was the last time Arsenal have had back-to-back clean sheets and won the game? I don't know. Listen, I'm excited as hell. 12:30 tomorrow, Crystal Palace versus Arsenal. Listen, Arsenal 3, Palace 1. That's how I feel. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section if you agree with me or not. If you agree with the team or not, I'll go through it one last time for you guys, of course. Leno in goal, AZ Maitland-Niles as the right back. Of course, the parent of David Luiz and Socrates. Providing Kolasinac is fit, I will start him. If not, of course, Bukayo Saka will have to fill in, of course. Torreira and Xhaka in that midfield, will Ozil just in front. And up top, Pepe, Aubameyang and Lacazette. It's as simple as that. 3-1 Arsenal. Like, share and subscribe to the channel. Share all the content, of course, if you're watching this video. And I'm out. And I'll be back with the match review after the game. See you later, guys.